Hi everybody, welcome back to Day Trip Vintage Company. This is Julie, and today's video is all about hashtag tag your turn. This is a really fun challenge hosted by Carrie at the Paper Monkey, and I was tagged to do this video by Angela, the traveling crafter. I will put the links to both their YouTube channels below. Make sure you go check them out. Not only check out their channels for great content, but also go look and watch everybody that's contributed to the tag your turn, the hashtag tag your turn. And in turn, I am tagging two friends today. The two friends I am tagging, first one is Cathy, of Picasso Cat. Now, the reason why I have a lot of very creative, crafty friends, the reason why I pick both of these friends, both Cathy of Picasso Cat and my friend Mary, is they both recently started new art channels. So they have been including crafty content, art content on their regular YouTube vintage channels, but they most recently created standalone channels just to showcase their junk journaling and their mixed media art. So I thought this was a great way where we can go to their channel, subscribe, and show them a lot of love. So I will be putting both Cathy's links down below as well as Mary's link to her channel in the description. So let's get started with the project. And today I am doing a bit of a tutorial, and I actually was also a bit, I thought I would do a bit of play on something that both Angela and I both love, because I know Angela loves her vintage readers. We both share that love. So that was kind of my jumping off point. That's where I took inspiration. And I also had this really great reproduction Dick and Jane book that I picked up at a thrift store a bunch of years ago. I even picked this up out of state. We were in Idaho on vacation, in a family reunion vacation, and I drug this all the way home from Idaho to California. So that's how much I loved it. So a lot of my readers, they're just in my collection, my permanent library to enjoy and look at, because I love them so. But this one, I didn't feel bad about cutting it up and crafting with it, because it's a reproduction. It's new issue, so that was a no-brainer, first off. And the other book that I grabbed out of my crafting stash is this, my first golden book dictionary. And again, it wasn't in super fabulous shape, and I thought that the graphics went really well with the Dick and Jane book. So I picked both of those and got to crafting. So what I made here, and full disclosure, this is my second, I'm being very disclosure-wise today. This is my second time taping this video. I discovered I was having a problem with my plug-in camera, and so this is actually my second go-round. I had done a couple demos of a couple tags, and then these were my demos, which I think are so cute. And then this one I actually did in the last video recording, but my camera wasn't functioning well, and so we are doing it again, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that all will go well. So I think these are really cute. So let's get started. Let's get to the fun stuff. We'll leave these off to the side for inspiration. And here's my little handy tray here. And because I love to teach craft tutorials, I'm often I like to give sizes of things. I think that's really helpful. So the size of the tag that I'm using for this particular project is 3.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. I just thought that worked really well for the images that I had. And I backed it in this sort of large lined it's kind of like kindergarten paper, right? We would have used this in kindergarten or maybe first grade to practice our penmanship on. And I thought it had a really great graphic for this project. So the back side, I ran horizontally because we can use it as a journaling spot. And then on the front of the card, I ran the direction up and down vertically. I thought that made kind of a fun detail. And the other thing I like to do with my cards is I like to make them a bit more rigid. Sometimes I'll take them, this is a really great size to put on display on a tiered tray or even in a little spiky flower frog. So I like to make them a little bit thicker, also with the thought is if they're being written on and kind of pulled in and out of a journal, they're touched, they're loved, they're looked at often. I like to make them a little bit thicker. So for this one, I took 2 pieces of cardstock and then backed them with the paper. And as you can see, there's a little bit difference in this one. This one's a little bit less rigid here. This was sort of my prototype. So let's see what we have here. So I did go ahead and I fussy cutted an image that I loved, and I got really lucky. I found one of these tags out of the little golden book that I thought was great. Steam shovel, my little steam shovel digs in the sand. So I thought that matched really well. And we're just going to play with the layout. I grabbed some other things in complementary colors, and we'll see what we end up using. And these tags may look very complicated, but really once you figure out the formula, they're pretty quick. You figure out the first one, that seemed to work really well, and then you kind of go from there. It kind of takes the intimidation, to me, out of it. And as you can see from the 3 tags, the layout is fairly similar. There's a little variation. In all of them, maybe, well, this one I did too. I guess I had a piece of ripped from a like a cookbook type of thing. But this one I found a little reproduction library card I thought would be fun. Let's just kind of see what we're doing here. I found this great complementary piece of fabric. I thought that went really well with the striped shirt and the striped fabric. And a little trick I like to do with when I'm putting a tag or like a tab top, let's call it, on cards, before I glue them, a lot of times I find it nice just to get a paper clip and just sort of clip it on. So I know what area or what kind of real estate, let's say, that I have to work with on my tag. And let's drop that one down just a little bit more. This kind of helps before you commit a little bit. And again, I'm just going off the formula of the others. So we have our fabric tab. I found a really cute little yellow button. I thought that was great with the blonde hair and the yellow of the steam shovel. And I think obviously this is way too long. Let me find my scissors. So we're going to come in and we're going to cut it. Now, each one's a little bit different. I think this one, maybe let's do a little bit of fussy cutting around the, what is that? So skip loader. I don't know my steam shovel terminology, but let's do a little kind of fussy cut. Let me get in a little bit tighter to that. Get off a little bit of that blue and white. Hopefully I'm in frame here. Let's see what we have going on. And what I'm trying to do is see how much we can shorten the width here. Let's come in here. Let's see what that does. And I'm trying to keep as much of the wording. Let's cut a little bit off this edge here. Like that, that's working. Maybe let's come in and let's do a little bit of fussy cutting on this right-hand side. Let's see if I can do it fairly quickly. I know you all have lots of videos to look at and view and enjoy. That's cute. Ooh, that's nice. I think that's gonna work. See if we can take off a little bit more on this side. I think we are close enough. I think we're about as close as we're gonna get because we don't wanna take away that bit of black there. So let's get some ink. Let's ink this up. It does have a fresh look with the white background, but I do want to come in and give it a little bit of a distress ink. I like that look. I like the vintage look. This book has been read and loved, and maybe the pages are have a little bit of foxing to them. A little bit of distress. I think that looks really good. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this. Get it as close as I can. I feel like maybe that's going to run off the edge a little bit. I'm not gluing it down to the tag, but I'm just going to lift it up a little bit here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just so we can get it attached together, the two sides. I might end up having to cut off the end there, but I don't think that will detract. And we'll come in here, we'll attach that a little bit better. And let's see, what do we have going on here? Pretty good. Now, I know that I do want to add some rickrack. And I think because we're using the red fabric top, I think let me get fabric scissors. I think the red rickrack. Again, we're sort of going back to that formula. We find what works. I think it's great to, there's a little bit of threads on this one. Let me see. Let's get this other side. I don't like the way the threads were there. Let's cut off a strip here. There we go. Okay, so we know our rickrack's going to go there. And actually, I'm going to back up a little bit. Let's give this tag some overall distressing. And then we'll go back and add our fabric tab at the top. But let's give it a little bit more interest. We'll do the front, we'll do the back. Again, I love that look. There we go. And I'm using Vintage Photo. That's sort of my favorite go-to. Okay, so now we're back. Let's add our little fabric tab on the top here so we can work on our layout. I often finding the elements seems to be the thing that's easy, but then sometimes getting them all to fit on the page is sometimes a challenge. Okay, so we know we're going to have that. Maybe what we'll do is we'll come in and let's glue down. Where's my fabric tack? Let's glue down the rickrack because we know that's going to take up some space on the bottom. Ooh, my fabric tack almost not cooperating well today. There we go. I could have used arc glitter glue. Sometimes I go back and forth. Fabric tack is always typically better when we're working with fabric. So let's try that. So we have that at the end, bottom there. And we'll come back in and we'll trim the edges. And then let's look at our little steam shovel tag here. And I think maybe it would be cute if It looks like she's sort of kneeling on the top of that graphic. I think it will look nice to have that in the back. Okay, let's give this a little bit of inking. This image here. I don't know what it is about these readers, but I'm just crazy for the illustrations. I know part of it is obviously takes me back to kindergarten. I loved reading. I remember reading through readers very similar to this, maybe dating myself a little bit, but that's probably part of it. Love school, finding a love for reading, brings back those memories. They're just so cute. I don't know, for those of you that love readers, what is it that you love about them? Okay, I think that's kind of cute. We kind of like that layout. And then let's see, I pulled, oh, we have some words here. So I always think it's fun, especially with the readers, to include a sentence or a little phrase. And I think we may be able to fit the whole thing. On some of the other tags, the phrase was a little bit too long, so I went in and cut it, pieced it together. Let's see here. Okay, so I think that probably will fit very nicely there. And I don't know if these are going to work. I pulled out a couple of these tickets. Let's try a couple. See if we like the blue. I also, in the other ones, included a little, just a little, oh, I like that. I like that fabric. Gonna move it around here. And I'm not sure that we need one of these tickets. It might be good with. Let's see. I don't know. I think that looks like it's too much of the same. I guess we could see, well, what does it do if we run it this way? I don't know that that really adds anything to it. Well, that's not too bad. And I think the red is better. Let's see, do we like that? Actually, that's not too bad. I think if we do a little bit of separation. Okay, so what we are going to do is, see, what am I going to glue down first? We know we want her there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in and I'm just going to glue this down just this little bit here. I just find this is such the challenge. Oh, I got a little thing on the end of this here. Oh, maybe what we'll do is we'll tack this down. I'm going to tack down that side. And I'm going to tack down here because I do want a little bit of that sand poke, or kind of go over the top of it. Not poke, but go over the top of it. We want a little bit of Sally to be behind. So let's do that. Let's just kind of lift it, see if we're successful with that. Yep, there we go. A little bit of that. There we go. That's what we're looking for. I like that little bit of sand over the top there. And a little bit of the sand spilling over, so it looks like she's She's kneeling on the steam shovel tag. And how did we have that? We kind of like that. And then let's gingerly go in. I'm sure you're all thinking, oh my goodness, you're doing this in the most awkward way. If you have any tips, I'd love to know. I do find it sometimes difficult in doing collages. When I start to lift up things and I don't do it this way, I sometimes find that I moved something around a little bit too much. So I tend to do it kind of in little pieces. Okay, let's see here. I want to make sure, yep, that we're going to have enough for this. And we like the red. Let's give it a little bit of, let's ink that up a little bit. That's great. And how did we have that? We had that sort of that way. I like some of it showing to her left. I think that's pleasing. Although we're not really getting a lot of the numbers there. Let's see if we can drop it down a little bit. Turn the fabric around. Let's get a little bit more of the flowers. I kind of like that. I think that's good. I think I would have wished that I could have dropped it down even more. I think that's nice. And we see a little bit of the fabric there. That's perfect. Okay. So we're going to go for this. Go for that there. And we're going to glue down the fabric. Tell you what, this collaging is tedious work. It is tedious. Look at that. Look at the cute little. Sometimes that's the give and take when you're using original images from books. You have to decide. Sometimes you have to give up the image that's on the back. And I thought this one was so cute. And when I found the steam shovel little tag, I knew I needed to use that. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so let's glue on our word phrase here. I have to apologize. My husband's coming through the garage, so apologize if there's any sound. This is real life. Crafting. How cute is that? Now we're going to come in and we are going to glue on our tab. I think let's try to use the Fabri-Tac. Seems to work best with the fabric. There we go. It's giving me a run for my money. Let's glue on the front and then we'll flip it over to the back side. If you've watched my channel enough, you'll know particularly Vintage Craft and Chat. It's a live crafting tutorial that I do every Thursday live at 11 Pacific. 2 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we have a lot of fun, but sometimes we have family noises. We have gardener noises. My craft space is in our kind of open space living room and dining room. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's see. I think that's gonna stay. Okay, now what I find, I always say this over and over again, constantly repeating myself. I find if I need to trim something, that if I turn the tag over or whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, but if I turn it over, I can get a much closer cut. And we're gonna go ahead. I'm kind of sad about losing that, but I don't think that will withstand the test of time. And here we are. Oh, I think that's super cute. I love how that turned out. So here's this tag, and we'll look back at the other ones. Let's get a little bit of this out of the way. So cute. Just makes me happy. I think looking at these just make me happy. And here's the other ones. And I thank you. I thank you for spending time. I thank you for watching this video. And again, I'll put all the links down in the description, but make sure you check out the hashtag Tag Your Turn. Make sure, most definitely, you go and check out Carrie's channel at The Paper Monkey, and make sure you subscribe, as well as to Angela, the Traveling Crafter. And most definitely go check out Cathy and Mary's channel. Show them some love. And I can't wait to see what project or tags that Cathy and Mary come up with to show us. And I thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.